What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is New Year's Eve 2024. So hopefully, if you're enjoying yourself tonight, you do so responsibly. We don't want anything happening. We want you to come back tomorrow, be with us, and experience the brand new year. Now, here on the Beer Patrol, most holidays, I try to review a beer that invokes the holiday spirit, and I think the beer today kind of does that to some degree. And it is the 10th holiday beer review for the month of December 2024. And it once again comes from the Narragansett Brewing Company, and they are out of Providence, Rhode Island. And this is their Bing Crosby White Christmas Winter Warmer, and it is the 2024 release. So this is a winter warmer that is brewed with sweet dark cherry, sweet orange peel, and ginger. It comes in at 7.4% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, this can is just over 2 months old. So I've been learning a lot about Narragansett this year because I always thought the only beers they actually brewed, their iconic Narragansett lager, of course, their fresh catch Citra Session Ale, some different seasonals, like I think they do an Oktoberfest. Obviously, they have the Del Shandy line, but this year, back in October, I reviewed their Gourd Reaper Pumpkin Ale. I had no idea they had a pumpkin ale of any sort. I reviewed that for the 10 Days of Pumpkin, and it was actually quite good. And then I saw this, and I'm like, all right, listen, we got to. It's Narragansett. We got it. We got to get this beer into the holiday lineup this year, and I did so. So yeah, 7.4% winter warmer, sweet dark cherry, sweet orange peel, and ginger. It doesn't list any of that on the label, but I did find it on their website and on their Instagram and everything. So yeah, I'm here for it. So we're gonna crack this one open, get it into the glass. This is the last beer that I'll be posting for 2024, and hopefully we go out with a bang. And yeah, I'm here for it. So let's give it a pour into the glass. Probably gonna pour the entire thing. This is a pretty big glass, and this is only a 12 fluid ounce can, so yeah, something like that. Beautiful. Throw this over there. And how does that look? Well, it looks like a winter warmer. This is very reminiscent of Boulevard's Nutcracker Ale, which I reviewed recently for the holiday themed beer reviews. It has this beautiful like caramel toffee color. It's gonna look darker, like maybe a dark brown on camera. In person though, it has like this caramel toffee into, like, it almost looks like a darker iced tea. It really does. Hold it up to the light over here. Good carbonation. This light's a little bit better though, honestly, just for what I look at. Good carbonation. 2 fingers of the straight up, I'd say khaki colored head. Some bigger bubbles, some smaller bubbles. And then you got, Homer Simpson as Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation. He's emptying the RV, as he always does. So let's get a nose on this one. It smells, again, akin to the aforementioned Nutcracker Ale, with more of like a cherry essence. Like, it definitely smells like, you can smell the cherry in here for sure. But big molasses, caramel toffee, brown sugar, toasted brown bread. Your typical winter warmer kind of malty goodness. But then, again, that sweet dark cherry, there's a little bit of like a prune. Dark fruits are definitely here, but the sweet dark cherry in addition. There's a little bit of like this zesty, more than a sweet orange peel, like a zesty orange. And then very lightly spiced with that ginger. And the ginger isn't overwhelming in the nose. It's very mild. It's subdued. It's quite nuanced. And if it wasn't in here, I don't know if I'd actually say that right now in the nose that I would specify ginger. It just smells like a really good malty beer with like a kick of dark cherry. I was thinking with those couple adjuncts, the ginger, but just like this beer as a whole, I was thinking maybe like a like a fruitcake in beer form. That's what I was thinking. It's not exactly that. It's not far off, but it's not exactly that. We'll turn the Grinch back on. He always likes to turn it off after 5 minutes, so we'll turn him back on, right, Grinch? Ray and I Parade. He's my best friend. Not Ray and I Parade. Definitely not. The Grinch? Yeah. He's a mean one. Mr. Grinch. Anyway, I want to get into this. Cheers, everybody, and here's to hopefully a better year in 2025. Cheers. Yep, nice. Right off the rip, very nice. So there's some nice bitterness on this. So, there's English winter warmers, there's American winter warmers. American winter warmers are basically English winter warmers, but just with like a lot of spices added. Where like old school English winter warmers are core 4 ingredients, and that's, you know, they let the malts shine, the hops shine. This is like you had an old school English winter warmer with an accentuation of like cherry and ginger, but it's not too big. It's still in its soul and at its core is an old school winter warmer akin to the Nutcracker Ale that I was talking about. This is very reminiscent of the Schlafly Christmas Ale, although I don't think it's as good. It's not as robust. It's not as flavorful. It's kind of like a slightly toned down version of that, but it's still really nice. Body is higher side of medium, 7.4%. I think it's appropriate. The mouthfeel, it's a little bit softer and smoother than I anticipated. I thought that it had like, looking at the carbonation and drinking it, it does have like an approaching moderate carbonation, but there's a slight like softness to it that's kind of, I just didn't anticipate it based on everything that pouring the beer, seeing the beer, smelling the beer. I was like, oh, it's going to have a little bit more of effervescent kind of feel to it. It's a little bit softer. It's smooth, touch of creaminess. Mouthfeel's pretty damn good, honestly. It's better than the body, and the body's, you know, appropriate. The taste, everything I said in the nose carries over about 99.9%. Molasses, caramel, toffee, toasted brown bread. There is, again, more dark fruit outside of just that sweet dark cherry. Prune, a little bit of plum. Has a slight fruitcake-esque kind of vibe to it, but not like full blown. That zesty orange kind of hits me halfway through the palate, or maybe like a third of the way through the palate. It has a zippy kind of almost slightly bittering like orange zest. And then on the finish, it has, again, a slight, almost candied ginger feel to it. But what I like about it is I'm getting a nondescript spiciness that I don't think is the ginger. And then it has a very slight resinous kind of hop tone. It's not too big. It's a very mild resinous hop characteristic, but it's there. It's noticeable. And it's kind of, again, unexpected, but in a good way. Yeah, so I'd say firmly dry with a mild to moderate bitterness. Pretty well balanced, still malt driven, still more of a malt forward beer, but there's enough, I think, bitterness and hop character on the finish with that very drying kind of spice component. The alcohol, 7.4%, I forgot to even mention it, slight warming in my chest. And that's, you know, when I drink big boozy beers, I always say like, I like when they hide the alcohol, especially if it's like a hop forward beer or something, but a beer like this, I enjoy the warming sensation going down. If there's a warming in my chest, into my stomach, and as I drink it, it's appropriate. It's called a winter warmer for a reason. You want that, we want you to warm you up on a cold winter's day, and I'm reviewing this today, and it's literally like 17 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so I need this one today. But yeah, it's a pretty well-balanced beer, nice flavors, good body, great mouthfeel. Again, if I gave that Christmas Ale from Schlafly a 4.25, I'm not going to go slightly, this is, again, slightly less robust, slightly less flavorful, but it's in that same vein. It's very similar. Like if I did a side-by-side of Schlafly and this, I don't think I would really, tell a big difference between them. Outside, I think, again, Schlafly did a little better job, a little higher in ABV, so a little bit more impressive. But if I gave that a 4.25, I am going to give Narragansett's Bing Crosby White Christmas, a winter warmer, that's a mouthful, 2024 release, I will give this a high 4 out of 5. I'll go 4.1. So I think the Schlafly is 0.15 better for sure, but this is still really nice, like a 4.1. This got a 4. This is getting a 4.1. The Gourd Reaper, I think, got a 4 out of 5. Like these seasonals from Narragansett are winning me over. It's cool. You know, Narragansett kind of reminds me of Genesee in the way that they're both known for their regional, like, basically adjunct lagers or regional cheaper lagers or whatever you could even call them macro, but they're not really. I guess Genesee might be, but regardless, like they're known for their Narragansett lager. Genesee is known for their Genesee beer and their cream ale, and they still do other beer styles quite well. Genesee has their specialty line. They used to have the Dundee's lineup back in the day, but a lot of those specialty lineup from Genesee are really good. And now the Narragansett like rotating offerings, the seasonal offerings, they're really good. They really are. You got to try them out. You just have to, especially if you just like beer as a whole. Like, give it a go at some point. All right, so price point availability. I paid a couple bucks for that. I want to say like $2.50, $2.79, something like that. I think where I bought this, and I picked this up at Red Wine and Brew in Mentor, Ohio. I didn't know if we'd see it around here. Turns out it did show up around here, but I think it was like 12 or 13 bucks a six pack. Probably saying, I'd say $12 to $14 a six pack for this is kind of fine by me. If you're paying $2 to like, $2.50 a can, that's great. It's 7.4%, has those adjuncts and additives in it, and I think it's a pretty dang good beer. And availability, I don't know with Narragansett. I just know that we're starting to see more here in the Buffalo, New York area, and I do know Genesee, the aforementioned Genesee, does brew their lager, I think Fresh Catch, and their Atlantic Light Lager, which I reviewed last week. You'll see that as a Macro Monday. But outside of that, I really don't know. So if you've seen this one before, wherever you are, let me know. I know we get it here in the West New York area, more specifically Buffalo, New York. I saw it in Mentor, Ohio. But does anybody else get this? If you're in the Mid-Atlantic, if you're in the New England region, if you're not, I would love to hear from you. And if you had this one before, post a comment section. What did you think about it? I don't know if this is the first year they released this, but it's the first time I've ever seen it. So therefore, we're going to turn the Grinch back on, and we're going to, close up shop here for the review. So again, this is the last review you'll see in 2024. Tomorrow is New Year's Day, and that will be the last holiday themed beer for this holiday season. And again, when I'm reviewing this one, it's like a week before. It's more like 10 days before I'm actually posting this. And let me just say that there's a high probability that you will already see a vlog, me talking about a potential theme month in January, all Imperial beer theme month. I think I got the green light based on you guys voting on the community page on my channel. At time right now, I think I have 50-something votes, and it's 88% that people want to see an all Imperial beer theme month. So I'm going to post a vlog. You'll probably see it before this. And I'm going to kind of lay out how it's going to work. It's going to be very interesting. Hopefully I survive it. Everyone does dry January. The Beer Patrol, we're not smart. We're going to the opposite end of the spectrum. Everything imperialized. It's going to be crazy. Anyway, check back tomorrow for the New Year's Day beer. Again, last holiday themed beer of the season, and it's going to be a somewhat of a bucket list beer from Deschutes. So I can't wait to get into that one. So I'm going to shut this one down. Good job by Narragansett. If I see more from Narragansett as we head into 2025, I'm going to pick them up and review them. I think it's cool. I really do. I love when these local, regional, like breweries that are known for one specific beer start kicking out other beers and they're actually good. And Narragansett would definitely fit the bill for me, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to shut this one down. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. Like I said, if you're watching this, before you go out tonight, be safe, be responsible. Don't drink and drive. Don't do anything bad. Enjoy the night responsibly, and try to make sure you minimize that hangover so you can come back and watch my New Year's Day review sober. Maybe it's better if you're a little bit tipsy. I don't know. Till the next one. Cheers.